right, the semifinals are done, and it's time for a recap, but I couldn't do this one alone. It's too big of a week. So welcoming my friend Elon, who I do believe has done a recap for this league in the past. I can't say 100%. I'm pretty sure, though.
Yeah, a few more gray hairs, since then.
Elon also is in the finals in our league, in which I had an offseason. I'm in the consolation finals, so if I win that, I get to pick my draft pick. But it was just a miss. I'll just share it because I didn't share anything about the league. I did a draft day trade. It's actually kind of crazy in hindsight. I did a draft day trade before the draft where I traded a couple picks to get another first-round pick, which seemingly, and he said it when I did it, that I robbed the person. But it turns out the second and third-round pick I traded away were the picks the guys who were top available and who I would have taken were Jonathan Taylor and JSN. Those are the guys that would have been on my team. Instead, I traded into the first round to get Justin Jefferson and traded back to get Tyreek Hill. So let's just say it wasn't my year.
You got Jahmyr Gibbs, though.
But no, the rest of my drafts were amazing. Like, I actually did a good job, but the trade was imagine I didn't make that trade.
You also did a trade mid-draft, and you got Travis Hunter.
No. Travis Hunter fell to me. Tyreek was the mid-draft one. I just summed it all up in one.
Oh, got
yeah.
it.
So JSN was part of it. So I would have had Jahmyr Gibbs in the first, Jonathan Taylor, JSN as my first three picks. I would have probably still gotten Tyreek, to be honest, though, in the fourth because I like Tyreek. And he was getting good. Anyway, okay. We're back in the playoffs.
Sure you've looked through that?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, and in the moment, I'm like, I would have gone Jonathan Taylor. And then third round, I almost took JSN before trading it away.
He was washed coming into the year.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so now we are talking about the best league to talk about. It's the League of Ordinary Gentlemen. And as you know, we were looking into the semifinals, and we're going to start with the matchup between Banditos and Dust in the Wind. And I predict every week who is going to win. And whether or not I've been on or not, let's just look at this one fact for you, okay, Elon? Mm-hmm. Before we even go into this, I just want you to know that coming to the season, I did pre-draft rankings, and my top two teams were Vinny Figs and the Banditos, okay? Both those teams were in the semifinals. Also, throughout the season, I done chain teams. I say if I lose a done chain, I will donate to a charity of the person who I done chained if they end up winning the championship. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the four teams I done chained all missed the playoffs. Yes, I took them when they were weaker, but not all were in like the elimination thing. They were well alive when I did it. Alive.
Got it.
So it really, really just has been a beautiful year of predicting for me, although we ran into some opposition, and we'll share that. Because Vinny Figs fell to Electric, 139 to 138. We had a nail biter on this one. Hearts were broken, and Vinny Figs, a team that I saw a lot of promise in, fell just short. So let's talk about what happened, because I think with Vinny Figs, the devastation is Josh Allen gets injured. And this is why fantasy is a joke. His season's blown because Josh Allen only gives him 6.9. When did Josh Allen get injured in the game? Do you know?
I think it was in the first half, right? And he came back. My understanding is he came back, and then they just ran the ball most of the game. So I don't even know.
So did he miss a few plays?
I don't even know.
Okay, because I didn't watch the Bills game. But
I don't think he did.
I think he had to go in for maybe not.
He did go in early, but
if he missed,
shows how much we know.
If he missed one play, he lost by 0.9. If he missed one play, that cost him the game. But okay, let's assume that that wasn't the deal breaker. He did get a good game out of Jonathan Taylor, 17.5, and a good game out of Bijan, who we both saw. He looked incredible at 30.3. The wide receiver group, he has a pretty solid wide receiver group that just did not come through for him. Actually, it's not that great of a group, but you'd think they'd do more. Keenan Allen only gets him 8.9, and Khalil Shakir only gets him 6 points. Do you think that leaning on Shakir and Josh Allen was too much of a gamble and investment on a Buffalo offense against a Cleveland defense that could shake you up with the guys like Myles Garrett?
No, because Cleveland's defense hasn't been very strong the last few weeks. So this has actually seemed to be a get-right game for Josh Allen. And it looks like Justin Herbert is on his bench.
Yeah, and the reason I said he had a solid wide receiver group, by the way, before being like, I guess he doesn't, is because Rashee Rice and Devontae Adams both hurt, both missing this week. I mean, that's devastating, no?
Yeah, here's what I'll say is that, well, first off, yeah, you're right. But when it comes to the quarterback situation, because to me, this is the thing he must have spent some time thinking about who he's going to start. Herbert's really been very weak over the last few weeks, and he played the worst defense in the NFL. So it seems like even though he's been playing poorly, maybe you still play him against the worst defense, but you think Josh Allen has a certain floor at least, like 20-point floor. So he has to be absolutely devastated, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, to say the absolute least. I would say, yeah, I think if you're Vinny Figs and you see that you miss your two best receivers, Rashee Rice and Devontae Adams, it's just fantasy luck. I mean, whether Josh Allen missed a couple plays or not, we actually don't know. The wide receiver injuries cost him the game. He needed one more point. He wasn't able to get it. And we should be talking more about Electric. Electric did have a better record coming into the playoffs. Electric was a team that coming into the season I was a little bit nervous about. I was in the middle ground, but I started believing as we went. And yes, in the semifinals, I was unsure who would pull it out, but at the end of the day, it was Electric that did it. Drake May, 31.7, I think was a difference maker with this team. Drake May's been awesome. Really brought this team to a new level, especially given who's on his bench, who was going to be his quarterback this season, Lamar Jackson. And he could have went Lamar Jackson, but he didn't. He goes Drake May, that gets him the win. It's the right move based on Lamar's been playing.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually he went with Drake May, to be honest, because last week Baltimore shut out Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. So that means, right, am I dumb? No, Drake May played
right.
Baltimore, yeah. So it was a risky start, given it seems like Baltimore was had some momentum. So great start and great faith in Drake May.
Yeah, agreed. It seems like he made a lot of really good decisions. I do wonder if the Dalton Kincaid 0 piece has him concerned going to the finals.
Do they have to chug also if a player gets 0?
No, but you could share our league.
If
policy.
A player gets 0 on your team, any position besides kicker and defense, we require a chug of a beer.
Yeah.
So as long as they're not hurt.
Yes. But yeah, he didn't have to, so he is in the clear, and we wonder if he's going to start him next week. The other game was Banditos and Dust in the Wind, and this I thought was a clear Banditos being a favorite. I didn't really hesitate. Banditos coming into the season, as I mentioned, was my second team, and throughout the season, it kind of looked like they might have been becoming the best team, and it seems like that's really what happened. Banditos puts up 177.6 points, and as you look at this team, I mean, you got CMC, Amon-Ra, JSN on the same team. I mean, those are 3 of the most valuable guys in fantasy. He also has a great quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Jalen Warren's looking pretty good. He broke off 2 massive runs. I think you got to feel comfortable starting moving forward. And again, this is all without Alvin Kamara, who was a nice depth piece coming into the season. And, Debo is no longer that piece that earlier in the season you thought he was. So it feels like he has just the right amount of guys to win it all. But there are some questionable starts in here, like Wan'Dale Robinson, Michael Carter. I think they're solid. You could get away with it, but do you see flaws in this team, or do you think this is clearly the front runner going to the playoffs?
Well, it's clearly a very top-heavy team. I'm not so familiar with the structure. I mean, it seems like a lot of players play on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, 3 receivers.
Also, is there another flex?
3 receivers and a flex, so just a 3 extra receiver.
Gotcha. I actually like Michael Carter going forward. In the championship, he made the championship. This guy,
yes,
I assume. So yeah, I think that it's very top-heavy, but he has some nice pieces to sort of iron it out.
And what's interesting is I'm seeing somebody talking about me. I just realized I lost to the 2 teams Rick considered the worst in the league. I deserve to be kicked out, sad, by the chairman. So first of all, I like that I finally get a shout out. Okay. They say that I have a rivalry against Chi-Chi's, which is true. That's El Grenas, I believe. I've always had a rivalry with this guy, who does win 212 to 143, but we're only going to be talking about semifinals unless we want attention other places. But now this is the prediction part. This is where we're going to... Dust in the Wind. Dust in the Wind deserves to be recapped. I never felt like Dust in the Wind was part of the conversation as much, honestly. So I don't want to be too much of a hater, but you could see the team, like a banged up Josh Jacobs was always a risky start coming into it. Ikbuka has not been the same as he was earlier in the season. Blake Corum actually is a solid running back, but just a very, very risky start. Courtland Sutton and Zay Flowers, I would say throughout the season have been risky starts. As you mentioned, Sutton's been playing better. Zay, a little bit of a lucky good game. And James Cook went off for him. So you think, hey, the right things kind of came together. You reach your ceiling on most places, but at the end of the day, when you have a guy like Josh Jacobs as your best player on your team, you need more there. It wouldn't have been even enough this week, but I'm not surprised that you only put up 129 this week, which isn't going to be enough to beat a team like Banditos.
Yeah, it seems sort of like a middle-of-the-road team, and he's made some. It looks like he has made some good pickups. Blake Corum's played better. Brissett's actually been somewhat relevant in fantasy, but not enough to win a championship.
Definitely agreed. So we're heading to the finals here, and we got Electric going up against Banditos. I'm going to predict it here. I'll be the only one to predict here because I just don't want them to be to get mixed messaging, because I want to guarantee that Banditos is going to win. I'm going to guarantee Banditos is going to win this thing, and I can tell you the exact score. Banditos 159 to a very disappointing finals performance from Electric at 122. Okay, so no need to watch this week, boys. That is what's going to happen. Best of luck. It's been a great season, and I'll talk to you next week for the final recap. Hugs and kisses. Love you.